So let's talk about some ideas if somebody's looking at, and again, I know different populations and classes will look different, but what are some ideas? Let's say, for example, if it's a self-contained classroom, what were some things that what would Felice Clark do?
Well, so if we already established the roles and expectations with the teacher and staff, I typically, from my experience now of having successful collaborative relationships, we have to get the teachers involved. And usually the teachers that want me to come in, they want to be involved in the lesson. Their aides want to be involved. So I have found that once I present that, I say, hey, this is how I want to do it. I want to do it where your aides are involved and I want to be involved and you can be involved. That way we are all participating, that we don't have aides just standing on the side while you're teaching. And we're also empowering everybody in the room, because our instructional aides are super important. They work with the students all day, every day as well. They know them really well. So we want everyone to feel a part of the team. So if I can get the teacher on board to do a collaborative lesson, I have found the most success with structuring. Every classroom's a little bit different, but finding a framework for how I'm going to plan every week, because then you can just plug in activities, how the setup's going to go. And so, typically I will have a setup for like the first week we go in, we see how everything goes. Then I might tweak that setup, but every session is going to have the same setup. So especially for my K2 classrooms, my self-contained classrooms, I will go in, I will read the book. The teacher maybe is floating, or we have established that she's going to do the vocabulary instruction, so we're both teaching, but I'm the main teacher when it comes to reading the book. The teacher's floating. The aides are making sure the kids are engaged and implementing, behavior plans or sensory needs, whatever needs to happen. And then after we read the book, we always do a brain break dance. Then after a brain break dance, we do a quick smartboard activity, or we do something at the carpet all together. And then we break up into stations. And you could either set that up where everybody does the same station, but you've leveled it so that you have students that either work well together, or maybe we know that our complex communicators are going to be focusing on the core vocabulary go, where the other kids are going to be working on verbs and vocabulary. And, so it's the same activity, but everyone is leveled. And that's the activity you do for the session at the station. Or you can do station rotations where, let's say I read a book about chickens. We did a chicken story. We did a funny chicken dance at the carpet. We did, who has the chicken eggs? And we did who answering question, a little quick game on the carpet. Then we're going to go to our stations, and either I have planned the stations because it just depends on the teacher, but a lot of teachers I think they like the idea that you're coming in, you're planning everything. Mm-hmm. We're definitely going to participate and be a part of it. And I will do quick check-ins with the teacher. Like, do you think this activity, are you cool with this activity? Are you cool with the craft this week? So I will just do a quick check-in with the teacher. But a lot of times I found that the teachers do really like me just planning it. And do it's taking it off their plate, and not always. Sometimes we will sit down and plan out like, okay, well, what are you doing this week with your curriculum? And we will plan it out. So then at each station, maybe we have, a noun function station with chickens, and we put pictures in the eggs. Then another station is an egg craft with paint, and they get to decorate their egg. And then the third station is like an egg sensory bin or whatever it's related to the book or the theme. And so the students either rotate to all those stations. So you have these little quick stations, and you have the teachers all doing the activities. And so that helped me with the roadblock of getting the participation of all the students and making sure their goals were getting met in a meaningful way. So I have found that having a structure like that, or really figuring out how you're going to plan out each lesson, that way next week you're not going to go, what the heck am I going to do? Or next week you're like, they really love that sensory bin. We're going to keep that station, and we're going to maybe switch out one and put in something new, so they think it's this novel lesson, but you're like, no, it's still the same thing. But we just made it engaging for them. And so that's how I have set it up. And that has helped with the overwhelm of planning for me, is knowing what to plug in each week.